I was standing in a crowded bus one evening. It was after work. The bus was full. People were tired and quiet. I was holding a bag in one hand and the rail in the other. My legs hurt, but I said nothing. At the next stop, an old lady got on the bus. She walked slowly. Her hands were shaking. She looked around for a seat, but no one moved. People looked at their phones or outside the window. I felt something in my heart. I stood up and said softly, "Please sit here." The old lady smiled. She thanked me and sat down. My seat was next to my husband, Amir. We were married for 6 years. He looked at me and nodded, but he did not smile. He was busy on his phone. The old lady spoke again. "You are kind," she said. I smiled back. "It is okay." The bus moved again. I stood near the door. The old lady started talking to me. She asked my name. She asked about my work. Her voice was calm. Then she looked at Amir. "Is he your husband?" "Yes," I said. She watched him quietly. Amir did not look at her. He kept typing on his phone. His face was cold. The old lady sighed. "Be careful with love," she said softly. I laughed a little. "Why?" She did not answer. She looked outside the window. After a few minutes, the old lady stood up to leave. I helped her down the steps. She held my hand and said, "Kind people feel pain deeply. Remember this." The bus drove away. I stood there, confused. Amir did not say anything. That night at home, Amir was silent. He ate dinner fast and went to bed early. His phone stayed in his hand. I lay awake. The old lady's words stayed in my mind. Something felt wrong, but I did not know why. The days after that felt heavy. Amir was often late from work. He smiled at his phone, but not at me. When I asked questions, he gave short answers. One night, he went to shower and left his phone on the table. It vibrated again and again. I did not want to look. I trusted him. But my heart was beating fast. I picked up the phone. A message was open. "Did you miss me today?" The name was not saved. My hands shook. I scrolled up. There were many messages. Soft words. Caring words. Words he no longer said to me. He was not meeting her, but he was talking to her every night. Sharing feelings. Sharing dreams. This was not a mistake. This was emotional infidelity. I put the phone back before he came out. That night, I cried silently. The next morning I asked him, "Are you happy with me?" He looked surprised. "Why are you asking this?" "No reason," I said. But his eyes moved away. Days passed. I felt alone even when he was beside me. I remembered the old lady. Her eyes. Her warning. One evening Amir said, "I will come late again." "Okay," I replied. I did not stop him. That night, I sat alone and understood something important. Love does not leave suddenly. It leaves quietly. A week later, I could not stay silent anymore. When Amir came home, I asked him to sit. "I saw your messages," I said calmly. His face turned pale. "You broke my trust," I said. "Not with your body, but with your heart." He tried to explain. "I was lonely. You were busy." She listened. I looked at him. "I listened too. You just stopped talking." He said nothing. I packed a small bag that night. Not to leave forever, but to breathe. As I walked out, I remembered the bus. The old lady. The seat I gave. A small act of kindness brought a big truth that I stayed with my sister for a few days. I thought about myself. About love. About respect. Amir called many times. He apologized. He wanted another chance. I told him, trust needs time. I learned something important. Kindness is never small. It opens doors. Sometimes to pain. Sometimes to truth. I gave my seat to an old lady. And I stood up for myself.